Hello and welcome to the sixth edition of Tin Media's Virtual Talk series. A very good evening to all of you. Very excited to see you all online. Really appreciate that you've taken time and to join us today here. I can see a lot of familiar faces here today. Thank you so much for you guys for joining us here. Thank you so much. Yeah, we have people still coming in. Hi, Anthony. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Fasa. Hi, Vimala. A lot of familiar faces. Thank you, guys. All right, so we have more people joining in, and a very warm welcome to all of you who has just joined. All right. Good evening. All right, so we have more people joining in. All right, so we have been talking about reset, restart, and recover tourism in the past episodes with various different topics in discussion. And today we have a very interesting sector in special interest tourism, which is the medical tourism. And the topic for today is medical tourism improving lives and revenue from the tourism marketing perspective. For those who are new to Teen Media, we are Malaysia's homegrown travel, trade, digital media. We focus on hospitality and tourism. We believe that it's very important to bring the industry under a common digital platform to share knowledge, ideas, and give the digital exposure so that it's easy for them, the businesses, to adopt and be innovative and to be relevant in today's time. My name is Presanth Chandra. Some calls me PC, and I'll be a host. I'm very, very excited to be hosting this session today. So Tin Media has come up with a series of virtual talk shows in the previous weeks, and the intention to educate and help the tourism industry players about the importance of digitalization in your business, whether it is for products, destinations, or the service providers, by having industry leaders from various sectors to share their experience and advices in front of a live audience like you. So we would like to especially thank you for encouraging us to discuss on such relevant topics, which is helpful to the growth of the industry. And some of the questions you want us to ask is also included in today's session. And those who are watching this show regularly knows that we do it in a bit differently, as it's not just me or the guest who talks here. We also need the viewers to talk to us. Share your thoughts, views, suggestions at the comment section below so that we all can learn and share knowledge from each other. Please feel free to tell us your opinion about today's subject and do write on your comment section. As the world is slowly opening up from such a grave crisis, and countries have started operating domestic routes as well as international, and it's evident that the travel industry is slowly getting back to its normalcy, and it's getting slowly and steadily. So medical tourism has lately become one of the fastest growing industries worldwide. With the fast and sudden growth of medical tourism and its benefits, countries have understood the employment opportunities and the healthcare development it creates. So Malaysia is recently renowned for its highly developed healthcare and quality medical facilities among the South Asian countries. And it's important, how important is tourism marketing, especially when industry is going through one of the biggest crises of mankind I've ever seen. So we have two superwoman panel of experts today with us, and I'm sure that they will have more better insights to share on this topic. So before that, ladies and gentlemen, I have a special request to all of you to share this live feed on your Facebook wall or Twitter, LinkedIn, on your WhatsApp groups, on a Facebook group, so that more people, more your friends can watch this as well. So, and keep your questions coming in. If you don't get your answers during this show, we will definitely going to follow it up afterwards. So without any further delay, let me introduce you to the guest. Let me give a brief introduction about them, then we'll move on to the discussion. So first guest we have is Ms. Sherene Azli, the Chief Executive Officer of Malaysia Healthcare Travel Council, MHTC, which is an agency under... Hi, which is, I just give a small brief and then we'll come to you with the questions, right? So basically MHTC is an agency under Ministry of Health, Malaysia, and she has been successfully positioned Malaysia as one of the most preferred destinations for world-class healthcare services. And we'll get to learn a lot from her, her experience of more than 20 years on driving marketing growth, developing strategies, and many more. And the second guest we have is Ms.Norafizah. Um, she is the Chief Operating Officer of Malaysia Agro Exposition Park, MAEPS, Serdang, a certified transformational leader and exhibition management. She has been in the hospitality and tourism industry for more than 20 years and now managing 350 acres of MICE green venue, which is popularly known as MAEPS Serdang. And I'm sure everyone knows that how she was leading a mega government project of transforming MAEPS from a large event venue to a makeshift hospital for COVID-19 patients in just 4 days. So she has a lot to share today, and we are very excited to listen to all that. So all right, guys. So for those who are just logged in, a very warm welcome. Please share the live feeds on your Facebook wall and the WhatsApp group so that we have more people watch this together. So all right, so let me go to Sherene. Sherene, tell us a bit about MHTC and its scope of work.
First of all, thank you, Presanth, to have me here today and representing Malaysia Healthcare Travel Council, MHTC. So this is a very interesting topic for us to talk about, considering what we are facing now. So MHTC is actually an agency given birth under the EPU, and we were under the Ministry of Health Malaysia. Our mandates were actually two-pronged. Number one is actually to look into the promotion of Malaysia's medical tourism or medical travel sector. And the second one is actually to look into the facilitation of the development and sustainability of the industry. So you're right in the sense that you mentioned just now that we were under the Ministry of Health Malaysia. But since 2018, we have been moved to Ministry of Finance Malaysia. But you know, things are always fluid. You never know. I mean, we could go back to Ministry of Health anytime soon as well. So, but it doesn't matter which ministry that we belong to. The mandates are still firm. And technically, we look into the coordination of the industry collaborations, and you look into building strong and valuable public-private partnership when it comes to medical tourism. So the unique part is that, you know, we are a government agency under MOH or under MOF, and yet we are promoting only the private sector. This is the unique part of Malaysia Healthcare Travel Council. And technically, if you look globally, despite there's so many countries on the bandwagon to promote medical tourism, Malaysia is unique in the sense that we are the only country in the world that has an agency looking after the growth of this industry. And Alhamdulillah, in the last, I think 6 years, we have seen a growth of CAGR of 17% year on year for medical tourism growth in the country. So this congratulations to all the stakeholders, especially the Ministry of Health and also the players in the private sector that have made this possible.
All right, thank you so much for that introduction and information. Yeah, so let me ask Nora, how much has the world changed for you, Nora? Especially update from MAEPS you like to give to the viewers about the current situation.
Okay, thank you, Presanth, for having me. And hi, Sherene. Nice knowing you. And actually, yes, being in the tourism, or I must say, in my case, it's more about agro-tourism and also the MICE. Not not more on medical, tapi tourism. Of course, pre-COVID, we've been hit a lot. I mean, affected by the pandemic, by cancellations, postponement of events, and yeah, we actually face it quite bad. When people want to have to refund whatever deposits that they want to have, they put up earlier. Yeah, but we are unable to meet the clients to make marketing. So what? But I think this digital platform quite give us a bit of a room that we can explore. And yeah, business is not as usual pre-COVID. Seriously, yeah, that really changes at MAEPS, change the way that we think, the way that we look at things in a different perspective altogether now. So it really do give us some time to sit back and see what angle, the opportunities available out there at the market, and really put us in the, actually hot soup, I must say,
Mhm.
that we are not, generating any revenues for the first quarter. Mm.
Right, rightly said, Nora. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, I think everyone is looking forward to get this going, about the pandemic. So yeah, so let me just come back to Sharon on how much the world has changed for you. I mean, any special update from MSTC you need to give to the viewers?
Okay, I think the world has changed for everyone, Prashant. And like Nora mentioned
True.
just now, we could be in a hot soup. The way I see it, that we are in a long dark tunnel. We know there's at the end of the tunnel there's going to be some light for us, but that it's very critical in terms of what we do now. What how we deal with the things that we are facing at this juncture. So if you look into medical tourism, as with tourism, it's actually badly hit. If Nora was talking about no revenue, and I think we share the same sentiment. I mean, tourism basically after the MCO, we basically come up with zero revenue for tourism in general. But for medical tourism, we are a bit lucky because we still have our expatriates, in the country that are actually still contributing to our private hospitals for medical tourism. But in general, if you look into the overall impact to the industry, we are expecting a dip of 70 to 80% for this year
Mm.
alone. So last year, we recorded about 1.8 billion ringgit revenue to the hospitals alone, private hospitals, and total economic contribution was estimated close to 9 billion, 8 to 9 billion. Uh, that was last year. This year, we're expecting 2 billion ringgit to the hospital and 10 billion to the economy. We are only realistically looking at 500 million to the hospital and maybe less than 2 billion to the economy. So
Wow.
it's actually
Wow.
quite painful, if I can say, very painful for us. But we are hopeful because we do feel, as we speak now, we still have many international patients still knocking on our doors and asking, can we come into Malaysia and get treatment? So the
Mm.
demand is there. I think that's
Right.
very important to recognize. The demand for medical tourism is still there. They want to come in. It's just because we close our borders and hence they can't come in. So for Malaysia Healthcare Travel Council, our current task, our big task now is to strategize how to welcome them back to the
Mm.
country, preparing for a rebound, and also to make sure that Malaysia is safe to
Right.
welcome them, in a sense that we don't want to unnecessarily import any COVID cases, for example. So we have
Mm.
to
Mm.
assess all the risks that are, along the opening up for medical tourists. So currently we are building SOPs to look into this. We are working with Ministry of Health. We are working with, we hope to present to MKN on this as well. So we are hoping to start welcoming our first batch of patients as soon as we can, inshallah.
All right, that's fantastic. I think, yeah, Malaysia is safe, and I'm sure people are waiting to get back. Yeah,
Knocking on the door, yes.
right. Okay. All right, Nora. So, can you tell us a bit about MAEPS contribution in the current COVID-19? You've been in all over the media, and we could see you on the television giving interviews about how you changed the whole venue to a hospital. So, can you share a bit about this to the viewers? Yeah.
Yeah. About this, we at MAEPS actually have a divided feelings. At the
Right.
first hand, that we are happy to have this business, but on the other hand, that we are actually worried for the Malaysians. And at national level, we feel that this is our contribution, that is our part to do as a Malaysian, to help the country, to help the government, organizing or putting up a makeshift hospital for them. And of course, this is for us is just another event. But this kind of event, we don't want people to come. We
Right.
actually wanted to have less patient or visitors coming to accommodate or to come over to MIPES. And yeah, of course, the makeshift of hospital really gave us tremendous journey and a very exciting journey to put up that hospital in just 4 days that you have all know. And yeah, with the help of multi agencies, PDRM, we have ATM, we have NATMA, we have KKM, especially even Dr. Adham Baba coming in to visit us, the minister, and also our beloved PM came to visit us. So it's actually giving us a hope that this pandemic will over soon. And repurpose of from exhibition hall to a hospital is something that we can't imagine that this can be done.
Right.
There's no SOP setting up for the at the first place, and we actually do it concurrently. The floor marking together with the build up of the partitions concurrent to make it happen in just 4 days. And talking about the commitment and the focus of the team that coming in together, it's amazing. It's amazing. And I must thank all these multi agencies that make it happen. They are the frontliners. We are just supporting them to help in this COVID pandemic. So our contribution is
Right.
just very little at MAEPS. It's very little. But the frontliners who give their support, their commitments, no raya for them, for the recent raya. They
Right.
have to be at the site to make sure these patients are well taken care of, and no rendang, no lemang for them. So I salute them as a Malaysian. And we at MAEPS really going together to support the government. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Thank you for that sharing, Nora. I think everyone appreciate how you and your team has really pulled that off, the difficult task. So all those who are just joining in, warm welcome. Hi, Fasa. Hi, Reen. Hi, Clement. Hi, Saida. Hi, Enzo. A lot of people are joining us, and we really appreciate you. You guys are joining us here. So I think there is a very interesting comment we have from one of the viewers here. So what he says is, Clement says that I think Malaysia can create a stronger image for medical tourism, seeing it how the pandemic situation is being able to contain and flatten the curve. This could be a strong draw to the future potential visitors.
Mm.
So can I have Sherene on comment on this?
Okay, thank you very much, Clement, for that good comment. That's precisely what we're doing at the moment. And to be honest, Nora, you guys have done such a good job in painting, in building that trust about how well Malaysia is dealing with
Yeah.
a pandemic like this. I mean, 4 days coming out with a makeshift hospital, and that's like,
Right.
that's a really amazing task. And that kind of stories actually go a very long way when it comes to establishing trust and building that stronger image that Clement was mentioning about. And that's
Mm.
precisely what Malaysia Healthcare Travel Council are doing at the moment. Because when we look into the current situation, we can't do the normal marketing that we have done. Like, for example, this year was supposed to be Malaysia Year of Healthcare Travel 2020 in
Mm.
conjunction with Visit Malaysia Year. That has been deferred now. I mean, I'm talking about our Malaysia Year of Healthcare Travel has been deferred to 2022. So what do we do now? Since we don't do that kind of marketing, we actually now focusing on that branding and building that strong image based on these kind of stories. What
Mm.
MAEPS have achieved, how they have recognized Malaysia from the country in Southeast Asia with the biggest number of positive cases, and then
Mm.
now we have managed to manage to reduce it and contain it, and we haven't had a death in the past 12 days or something like that. And how our Director General of Health have been recognized as a top 3 doctors in the world. So all these positive stories are something that we are using to build a strong brand image for Malaysia healthcare. So you're not
Mm.
talking about medical tourism. It's about building Malaysia healthcare. And this is to actually complement the current standing that Malaysia has. Many people, I mean, I can ask the people in the audience, maybe you can put in your live comments. How many of you know that Malaysia has been rated as the country with the best healthcare system in the world for the past 5 years? You can answer that through your live
All right.
comments.
So if you know this, please say yes. If you do not, please write no. So we should know how many people know it and how many
Yes.
doesn't know it. Yeah. All
MHTC
right.
staff, don't write because I know you guys know.
All
So
right.
I'm asking the general public, how many of you know that International Living United States have rated Malaysia as the country with the best healthcare system in the world for the last 5 years?
Wow,
All right.
So
that's
Amazing.
great. Mm.
that's the story. I mean, that's where Malaysia, that's how high Malaysia is being rated or regarded
Mm.
when it comes to healthcare. And this has been proven again with how we are managing the pandemic. And
Mm.
and when people talk about coming for medical tourism, it's talking about getting healthcare. We're talking about healthcare. You need trust. If you don't trust, you don't have quality, people won't come to you. You can have all the best hospitals with the greatest chandeliers and the thickest carpets, or the nicest curtains. People don't come to us unless they know that you have that quality. The top five, someone mentioned just now, top five, right? Nurhani, top five was before 2015. 2015 onwards, we are actually number one in the world. So just to clarify that, and that's something that that's what we are doing now. We are building that. So MHTC is taking the funds now, investing in image branding, so that when people, when we are ready to welcome patients again, they will remember Malaysia first, not our competitors. So that's where we
Absolutely.
are
I
now.
think absolutely. I think Malaysia is moving towards being one of the topmost, in this sector to among
Can I just
Asia.
add on to that,
Yeah.
Prashant?
Sure. Please.
Last year, Lion Buson and International Medical Travel Journal has run a research and a study ranking. Malaysia is currently the country, number one country in the world with the highest medical tourist volume.
Mm.
Wow.
So we are currently number one in the world. Again, how many people
Wow.
know that? Anyone wants to answer that?
Absolutely fantastic. I think this is like
Yes.
these are like eye-opening for all the viewers. Even we never have these statistics in front of us. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
and
Right.
And the second, we are number one in the world. Second is United States, and we are about double the volume to United States. So the
Wow.
potential for Malaysia is just amazing. And I think, Nora, let's look at how MAEPS and MHTC can work together on this.
Yeah,
Great.
exactly. That's
Yeah.
some relationship that we have to put on after this.
Yes. Inshallah.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
All right. So I just would go to the next question to Sherene. I mean, reset, restart, and recover tourism is what we've been talking about on our previous session as well. So as a thought leader, what do you see like forward on this line? Like, how do you see tourism going forward?
Sorry, you.
To Yeah, I mean, this is
Just
to Sherene. Like,
okay.
so reset, restart, and recover
Yes.
tourism is,
Uh
as a
huh.
thought leader, what is your take on this?
Okay, this is
Yeah.
precisely why we are here. I mean, remember I
Right.
told you just now that we are in that dark tunnel. We know that somewhere that we have that. When you're talking about resetting, okay, there are two sides of resets. The positive one is that for us to start relooking and then re-strategizing and reevaluating where we are. The hardest reset for us is like whatever numbers I mentioned to you just now, Prashant, and to the to my friends online. Basically, those numbers were where we were in 2012. So,
Mm.
All right.
despite all the achievements that we have done, the great growth that we have done over the last 6 years, we are now at the stage where we were at 2012. The
Wow.
500 million, the 2 billion contribution. So
Wow.
that's
Mm.
actually quite disheartening. But we take it positively. We may see that as a one door closing on us, but we look at it. Okay, this is an opportunity for us to actually be the creating or painting a new way of doing things. We are the game changer. Malaysia Healthcare Travel Council and Malaysia Healthcare itself have been recognized globally as one of the game changers in medical tourism. So now we just have to do more about that game changing. So one of the things that we are looking at is that how we have to use digital platforms a bit more than before. Like for example, I was in technology before. I was in telecommunications company before I joined Malaysia Healthcare Travel Council. So very different industry, telecommunications into healthcare. One of the products that we came up in the 1990s were telemedicine. But
Okay.
we were just ahead of our time at that moment. There was no take up for telemedicine, even for Malaysia, rural areas, for example. Now we see telemedicine, teleconsultation as the way to move forward. So now we need
Absolutely.
to see how we can use that to
Right.
to actually look into how we can deliver better end-to-end care for our
Right.
patients, be it Malaysians or medical tourists. Number one, that's on the digital side. Number two, we also need to look into how we can look into our records, patient records, and look into how we can digitize it and do it, and so that we can handle our patient information better. We don't want to go into the hospital and you can see stacks of kertas, papers, and that's where your
Right.
medical records are, for example. So we
Yeah.
need to look at how we need to enable hospitals, clinics to invest into digitization and change the way that we do things now. And especially for medical tourism, that's actually very big because our patients are beyond borders. So we need to see
Right.
how we can enable that to happen. And then when we look into tourism itself, how do we look into changing the way that we do tourism marketing?
Right.
um, you can't be doing events, you can't be just doing those things. How do we build trust? Do we look into uh, when we are being a thought leadership, people would see that we are trailblazing rather than
Right.
doing things the way we do. So that's
Right.
why MHTC is doing a lot of planning now in looking into how we can change the landscape, if I can say,
Right.
of medical
Mm,
tourism,
mm,
not only for
mm.
Malaysia, but for globally in general.
Right. Amazing. Thank you so much for that sharing. Yeah. We have more people
Mhm.
joining in. Hello from Nepal. Hello from Dubai. We have people from Indonesia. So it's quite a mix of a crowd here today. I think everybody is keen to listen to you on those medical tourism information. So let me go back to Nora on Nora's perspective on reset, restart, and recover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think in my view, or I vision this, international or international tourism or international the foreign or not coming in the next what 3 months, 4 months, or another year. So we must actually focus on domestic first and be it local. Because I can see I'm talking about MAEPS agrotourism per se, yeah, not I mean not representing any national tourism Malaysia, but talking about MAEPS, what I can see is that maybe the domestic people can come, the local people can come and join whatever MAEPS has offered. In terms of we have a showgrounds, we have paddy, we have pineapple showground, we have herbs showgrounds. So that actually can and contribute to the landscape of the tourism perspective. And to market this, I can see in your questions also, Prashant, to market tourism product is actually a challenge because to contain the product or to make sure that it's sustainable, it's quite challenging for us, especially in terms of financial. We need some injection from the government to help us to make do all our showgrounds, to make it as lively as possible. Yes, we are doing it, but it's just not enough. The technology that we have, maybe for Mardi, that we can showcase to the people, that it also can set up as a product that we can offer the new product or new attractions for the local to come and see. And it's also some to reset the mind or to change the mindset of people have to change. That Malaysia has so many to offer, from the beaches, from the food, from the agriculture sectors. So there's a lot to see compared to other countries. Yes, when you go other countries, yes, you must see other things as well. But locally, they do have a lot of things to see. I personally go to travels a lot domestically when sending my son to Terengganu, and we must have a stop in between to take some, I mean, pictures or have some good food, you know. So there's a lot to do in Malaysia. So whatever we do, we have to reset and tell ourselves that hey, is this what we want? We must actually develop the local to ensure the economy keep on going. So talking about Malaysia Agritourism Park or at MAEPS, yeah, at the moment we don't have any visitors, especially during the COVID time. But we are looking to start a new program soon with the agritourism industry, and especially with MOA, hopefully that we have some collaboration with them to do some programs, maybe virtual seminars or virtual apa nama dia, talk show like this to inform people that, hey, look, this is what we can offer to you at MAEPS, you see.
Right, rightly said. Yeah, I think that's right, Nora. I think domestic is everyone's hope at this point
Focus.
of time. Yeah, I have a very interesting question here from John Kim. He is asking that any estimation on forecast for that border will be lifted for just for medical tourism sector international. So this will really help restart the part of country's economy. I mean, I
Okay,
think
John,
Sharon.
I think that's a question that we all have in our minds.
Right.
I wish I have the answer for you now, but what I can say is that what MHTC and our private hospitals and MOH are working together to do. So what we don't know when the border will be fully opened, but what we are looking at is that how we can perhaps jumpstart medical tourism with a selected group of patients that are safe for us to handle. I think that's a key thing. Whatever that we do, we must make sure that these people are the safe group that we can handle. We don't want to bring any unnecessary imported cases into Malaysia. So in order to do that, similar to how when we want to open our different sectors, different industries, like people asking to open restaurants, so restaurants are the SOP, they have their own SOPs. Similarly, for medical tourism, we are developing our SOPs, and we are in discussion with Ministry of Health and the Majlis Keselamatan Negara, MKN as well. So this is a process that we are working on at the moment, and we are hopeful that perhaps we can open this sooner as a protected, or I wouldn't say a bubble, but like at least a pilot group of patients to kickstart the medical tourism first and foremost. The demand is there. They are knocking on our doors almost on a daily basis, asking us to take them in. But we need to make sure that Malaysia and Malaysians are protected first and foremost.
Right, rightly said. Thanks for that sharing,
Yeah.
Sharon.
Thank you for
I
that
just
question, John.
Thank you, John. Yeah. All right. So, just want to know MSTC's contribution in medical tourism segment in Malaysia. If you could just, tell us a bit about that.
In terms of
MSTC's contribution in medical tourism
contribution
in
in
Malaysia.
terms of what? In terms of
Medical
monetary
tourism
or?
segment in terms of the growth of medical tourism in Malaysia.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
think I mentioned that earlier just now. We're
Yeah.
talking about last year alone, we contributed to, in terms of the medical tourism, not MHTC, I'm talking about the medical tourism sector overall, which means that these are the private hospitals and also with the related ancillary services. Yeah. To the economy, medical tourism from the private hospitals are contributing about last year close to about 9 billion, and that's estimated to be about 9% of tourism revenue for Malaysia. So that's very significant because tourism revenue for tourism contributes the third contributor to overall GDP, and medical tourism is contributing about 9 to 10% of that. So that's very significant. RM1 revenue to private hospitals contribute to another RM4 to ancillary services. You're talking about hotels, shopping, food, all that. That's another
The ecosystem.
transportation, the whole ecosystem. And medical tourism, the uniqueness is that they don't come and travel alone. Other tourists, you have a lot of backpackers, single travelers, but medical tourists, they will come with companions. And some countries, they bring the whole family in for a holiday as well. So that's even more contribution to the economy. So as far as MHTC is concerned, we are only a government body that facilitates the whole ecosystem and facilitate with the promotion for the country. So we have a lot of questions. I was just reading the questions, the live comments just now. They were asking, how about Sabah Sarawak? Do we promote? MHTC covers the country. So we promote from, Penang until Sabah and Sarawak, to Johor. We promote everyone that has potential in terms of medical tourism. We work very closely with each of the state tourism, with even the ESCOs, the government, and we hope to enable the end-to-end ecosystem for everyone, that to maximize their potential. So it's not that we are selecting a particular hospital or a particular location or whatever, but if there are certain locations, like for example, if you have people talking about a particular state that doesn't have a direct connectivity to a particular country, then we say that we need to work on the connectivity, for example. So then we have to work on if you don't have a hospital to sell, then we cannot do medical tourism. If you don't have capacity, you cannot do. So we work on that as well. So the contribution is more on the sustainability of the industry in the long term. And if I can compare to global, I think this is something that people don't know also. On average, global growth for medical tourism had only been about 8 to 10% globally. Asia Pacific has the highest growth at 12%, and Malaysia at 17%. So we have constantly outperforming the global average and the Asia Pacific average growth in medical tourism. Last year, we grew 22%.
Wow.
So
Amazing.
it's huge opportunity for us.
That's a good news.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean,
but we have to
that's
do more.
absolutely. And these figures are really, impressive. All right. So, can I come to Nora on, what are the challenges you face to promote a destination like MAEPS?
Um,
Yeah.
Actually, with MAEPS, the challenge is actually to create new product. People want to come. I want to attract more people to come repeatedly, repeat customers, repeat clients. But if I say I have only a few product to offer, then that's it. It will just be, the monotonous. Yeah. So my challenge is to create more or attractive or wow factor at MAEPS. Yeah. But looking at the situation at the moment, there's a blessings with the MCO that we can resit again with the team and come out with a strong business plan or a business model. It changes the whole planning of agrotourism in MAEPS. I'm sorry, Sherene, this is about agrotourism pula. Tak ada kena mengena dengan medical tourism.
Tapi I ada idea. I have an idea actually.
Right.
Yeah, for
Okay.
maybe I can just jump in a little bit. I
Please,
can't
please,
help but I
please,
see
please,
Sure.
opportunity.
Please. Yeah.
please.
Because one of the things when we started very much medical tourism. Now we are getting into wellness tourism. You
Yes,
see,
exactly.
because people are looking at their health and stuff like that. And one of the things that they are looking into are organic, healthy food, like healthy living, all these things
Right.
that even, that is like kind of a trend of the young ones now. And now we are also looking into like, for example, geriatric care, or what we call old folks home or retirement villages and stuff like that. I mean, there are things that we can look into, perhaps having a part of agrotourism and mice to be added to that. For example, mice wise, in the last 5 years, I think, 5-6 years, MHTC has come up with our own Insight conference. This is specific to medical tourism market intelligence conference. It started off only as a local conference that is for our hospitals only, member hospitals. So we were giving insights and everything. But for the past 2 years, it has grown into regional. Regional punya ni, and then now we're starting to have exhibitors and sponsors that we never thought possible, and these sponsors came from different industries. We had like people coming from telecommunication, coming from brands like the car brands, sponsoring our Insight conferences. So these are something that perhaps we can look into collaborating with MAEPS in the future, because as I said, this is a time that we should reset, re-strategize,
Exactly.
and rejuvenate the industry,
Absolutely.
recreate the industry in a different way. It
Absolutely.
could
I
be a
think.
totally different
I
animal
actually
altogether.
I actually agree. Medical and wellness come together. Yeah,
Yes,
and at MIMES we have spa. We use the organic herbs on the all treatment.
there you go.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so
Right.
it's Talk, Sherene.
Absolutely. So we have,
Sorry,
you know, we have
I saw
a lot
that
of
opportunity.
opportunities clashing.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah.
Yes,
So
yeah.
that's
Amazing.
our challenge, to come up with something new. And of course, Malaysians are really rich of food. Yeah. So at
Mm,
MAEPS, we have a few F&B outlets with our tenants and business partners. So we are also creating some package that makan at MAEPS. So that kind of maybe you're talking about organic foods. Yeah, we can have one eatery with only organic herbs. You pick your own pluck your own herbs, you see, freshly from our herbs garden. So that's another package that we can book together, Shireen, in future. So
mm,
that's our challenge, to make it sustain and to ensure that people come to my apps. And how we want to do it, yes, that's another channel, or maybe section that we have to talk
Right.
to promote my apps is something that we need to reset, where people now know MIPES now as COVID center. When all my friends are, is it safe to come in to MIPES? Is it okay? Is it far from whatever? So you don't worry, because MIPES is so huge. We have about 350 acres of land. So the COVID hospital is only quarter of it. So the other part of MIPES is still accessible. And we have one tenant doing the durian sale now. Durian sale, and you can eat your durians there while having that hospital together. So that collaboration with our business partners are quite, to eliminate the mindset of people that, no, look, MIPES is safe for you to come over. Yes.
Right. Thank you so much for that sharing. I would like to take one comment from our one of our viewers. He's Shah Jahan Said from Dubai. He says that recently in Dubai they had started agriculture program. Is there any good concept which we can have a tie up for the future? So here you go. There's some business coming in for
Uh,
Nora.
Okay. Hi, Shah Jahan. Yes, we can collaborate, because my apps is actually this is a diverted. I saw some comments that say we are diverted from the topic, but I'm just apa nama ni, replying to this comment. The agriculture, yes, we have MAHA, Malaysia Horticulture and Agrotourism Show. Is the largest agriculture show in Malaysia, or I think in East Asia. So we can collaborate but you have to have a space. Having a space which is similar as MAPS, then we can do things at Dubai. Yes, definitely we can do. Shah Jahan, just PM me with your number.
All right. Thank you so much, Nora. And I would like to have this one comment here from Mr. Anthony. What are the top three medical treatments sought in Malaysia? He's from Ace Travels. Yeah, I'll say it.
Okay, so if you're looking currently, the top ones would be oncology, cardiology, fertility. So these are the top three, and on top of that, the more elective ones would be dental and aesthetics. So these are the top treatments that currently are being sought for in Malaysia. So sought after, sorry, in Malaysia, and mainly because I think our promotion in the last few years had been Malaysia as the fertility hub of Asia and also the cardiology hub of Asia. And because of that, because we have a strong hospital, strong results, strong outcomes and success rate to show for, and that has established Malaysia's position very strongly in those areas as well. So, but when we talk about, I took note why people think that we are a bit diverting, but actually we are looking into reshaping the industry. That I think that's why we are looking at all the different opportunities that we can help drive medical tourism or reshape or medical tourism in the future post COVID. Things are not only just talking about the platform, but we also look into the packages, we look into the product that we have, because maybe before this focusing on medical has worked for us, but moving forward
Mm.
we need to add on to our packages to be more appealing and attractive to our future patients coming into Malaysia.
I think absolutely that's rightly said, Sharon. We basically need the right product mix, and unless we don't try different,
Yeah.
interest subjects and try to find something common, I think we should come up with some amazing products. And if we could see a lot of interest in medical tourism here, we would be doing an exclusive session for only for medical tourism in the coming time. So we would see the the pattern of viewers. If they really demand one exclusive session, let's do it. No problem. Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
So,
I'm ready.
right. Okay. Thank you for that. Okay, so I just want to ask you, Sharon, what are the biggest digital opportunities medical tourism has globally, especially this post-COVID era?
Okay. I think in terms of the digital side of things, right? There are two sides that I'm looking at in terms of how we reach out to our potential target markets or our potential patients, number one. Number two is how we serve them. So there are two opportunities that we are looking at here. And I think this may appeal to the players in the area. So number one, in terms of how we reach out, that means you're talking about marketing, communication, how we are using digital to establish our strong brand image, establish trust in terms of, like for example, looking into how we are beefing up currently, MHTC are beefing up our digital presence, online presence, and we are looking into, for example, working with cross-border payment partners, for example, to enable payments across borders, teleconsult, and also marketing with them. That's one side. The other side is when you're talking about serving the patients. Currently, patients are so used to flying into Malaysia and coming into Malaysia, meeting their doctors and getting all the treatments physically. But now we are because of COVID, I think many are adopting telemedicine, teleconsulting, and they are looking into even posting medications, across borders and stuff like that. And how you can do follow-ups with your patients, communications, handing over patient records to the doctors in their home countries. So those are the potential that that we have in terms of improving the end-to-end delivery of patient care to our patients. So these are the two areas that I believe there are still huge gaps that need to be addressed.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much for that. We have a very interesting comment here. That says that we need more data on which hospital offer what medical treatments and who's who in the medical fraternity. So I'm sure you have something like that if you want to share with the viewer.
Okay, so I think this one you can also get onto our website to see. For example, Malaysia Healthcare Travel Council has about 70 members currently, 70 member hospitals with us. We have in Malaysia, we have more than 250, 60 private hospitals, but not all are our members because we have certain criteria that hospitals have to meet before they can become our member and can promote medical tourism with us. So in our website, you have the list of the hospitals. Out of that, 23 are elite member hospitals. Elite members meaning that they have they are above the rest when it comes to certain quality, certain patient care, international patient care. So, and they are more active in the markets as well. So these are the people that you can see on our website. And also when you go into their individual hospitals, you can see the specialists there and what they do, etc. However, not unlike other countries, we are also bound by certain regulations that we cannot over advertise our doctors and our facilities. So we are bound by certain limitations. So we may not have as many or information online as other countries would have. For example, some countries, they have a lot of testimonials on their hospitals and their doctors. In Malaysia, that's not allowed. So we are very particular when it comes to ethical promotions and sharing information about our doctors and our facilities. So whatever that you see, you can see online, but you can get more basic information. But should you need any more information, you can always call us on our hotlines. In some countries, we have our own call centers as well, or you can call our call centers that are in our website. You can email us. You can also WhatsApp us as well. So we will help you with the specific, if you have specific case and you want to know which are the doctors that we would recommend you to go, and what would be the estimated cost, for example, or what would be the treatment, we will be able to help you with that. MHTC has our own call centers, and we also have our own website and people to handle your inquiries.
All right, amazing. Thank you so much for that sharing.
Sure.
Also, Nora, can we talk a little bit about digitalization in your subject? What do you think? How digital you are at the moment?
Oh, okay. You asked me about how digital I am.
Okay,
uh,
from the industry perspective.
okay, in the tourism perspective, I do feel that tourism must still have used five senses. You have to use your senses of hearing, listening, smelling, and tasting. That is what tourism all about. Using your palates, you know. So when you do virtual, you are not able to see or to touch whatever you are seeing. But I think digital might have some good points where it can be virtual in terms of knowledge sharing or intellectual sharing in terms of marketing the own product as simple as a seminar on urban farming is for example. So that's a sample of not medical but agrotourism again, but the concept of promoting in digital, I think that will work. But in long future, in the future, we must also see that we are lacking of this touch or human touch, because hospitality is about human touch. You see, you must face each other, you must see each other. And being Malaysians, we are hospitalized, we are warm people. And doing digital, it doesn't work. It doesn't work in the tourism in long term. But I think with this, just to handle this pandemic, it's okay, but not in the long term, in my opinion. Yeah, that's just my opinion, because in my per se that marketing a product must feel, you must be there, you must enjoy the ambience, uh, not in the room, not in the aircon room. So that's not a tourism for me.
Yeah,
So
I must say that I agree with Nora in terms of that delivering that service. You know, I mean, nothing can replace the human interaction. For example, uh,
exactly.
yeah, what I just now, because the question was more how we can digitize things, you know, but what I didn't touch on was one of the main frontliners for us in medical tourism. Our main frontliners are actually our health facilitators. We're talking about
Mm.
health facilitators. These are the people who are actually fronting our patients in the foreign countries. You know, they are the ones, like for example, if they are partners of Malaysia hospitals or MHTC, they are the ones who are marketing and liaising in person with the patients
Yes.
in that foreign country. Let's say, for example, in Australia, so we have partners who are health facilitators in Australia that will
Mm.
deliver that personal touch, and that personal touch is very important. Like for
Mm-hmm.
example, when the health facilitators deliver the patients to and fly into Malaysia, MHTC actually welcome these patients from the aero bridge. You know, the minute the door
Oh.
open, we welcome the patients from the aero bridge. We take them through the fast track immigration, and
Mm-hmm.
then we have our lounges at KLIA, KLIA 2, PIA. And outside at the lounge, they can have a rest for a while, you know, because patients, they may need some rest. We have, massage chair, whatever there, you know, and then a little bit of drinks and stuff. And just outside is our ambulance bay and our transport bay. To take the patients to the hotel or to the hospitals. This kind of treatment, you need to have that hospitality. You cannot compromise on. But what I'm saying is that in terms of reaching out and beefing up that, you know, because there are certain times that you cannot reach personally all the time. Our health
Mm.
facilitators will still use online, will still use digital to reach out to bigger target market. But then they will deliver the personal touches, and that's very
Exactly.
important. You know,
Mm.
ideally. I know I read, I think Sis K commented on testimonials, very important. Ideally, we would like to have testimonials, but because our regulations are very tight, we don't publish testimonials that are given by our patients. But our healthcare facilitators or our, you know, hospitals, I mean, personally they can share that testimonials. It's just that we cannot
Yeah.
use it as a marketing or promotional materials.
Mm,
At the end of the
mm,
day, Nora, I agree with you. Kita
mm.
punya, our smiles, how we deliver our care to our patients, hospitality to our tourists cannot be
Yes.
compromised. It's just
Yes.
that we are using digital to reach out and
Yeah. Mm,
complement that more
mm.
than anything else.
Exactly.
Thank you
Exactly. I
so much,
agree.
Sharing. Thank you so much for sharing. We are actually running out of time,
Oh, all
so
right.
I would just, yeah. So
Very
I would
interesting
just have.
discussion.
Thank you. I think I would just have Nora to be like for those tour operators and all those event organizers, those who are really want to have a collaboration with you. Or what are the
Mm.
opportunities you have for them?
Okay. At the moment, yes, we need some. I mean, not. Yeah, majority of the travel agents have been with us under the Tourism Malaysia, but we need some more participation from them, marketing our place, and also in publicity and promotion. Especially, we want to reset the mind that MAEPS is not a COVID center at all. After this COVID been ended or end, so we want to say that MAEPS is clean, MAEPS is COVID-free venue that people can come over and visit. That's kind of publicity and promotion collaboration that we need, and also to market our showgrounds, our agriculture, thematic showgrounds that we need people to come in to work together with us on the packages that maybe a 3 days 2 nights, but a must stop center at the MAEPS. So that kind of collaboration that we need from the industry players. Yeah, I think there's also one email that they wanted from us, Sherene.
Hmm?
Can we live or maybe later,
Yeah,
Prashant? Macam
yeah,
mana?
yeah.
Yeah,
You can
we can,
actually
we
go
can.
to the Teen Media Facebook page and you can reply there directly. So you can even have a direct interaction with all these people on the comment section of this video. So you can actually, yeah. So if you
Okay,
want to
so
give out, you can also give it
okay,
out here.
maybe my email I can share here. Yeah, my
Yeah,
email would be Norafizah, my name Norafizah at maeps.com.my. That will be my office email. Maybe Prashant can share
And
later in the
yeah,
FB
yeah.
lah.
We'll,
Yeah.
we'll post it here. Yeah, with the details, surely.
Okay.
Thank you so much. And
and
yeah,
for me, it's the Sherene at mhtc.org.my. So it's just very direct. Yeah. Sherene at mhtc.org.my.
we will actually post it as well, so they can even pick it up from there. Not a problem.
Okay.
And okay, Sharon. So can I have for those tour operators or healthcare organizations or any viewers who's interested in promoting MHTC products into domestic or international? What are the collaborative opportunities you have for them?
Okay, if I can mention in terms of the whole ecosystem, we have been working with hotels and wellness resorts and our partners, especially the hospitals, the clinics. They have been great in coming up with good packages. But there's one gap here that our travel agents before I think have sort of shied away from promoting medical travel because it's actually quite complicated compared to the traditional medical tourism products, if I can say, because when you take care of patients as health facilitators or travel agents, you do carry additional responsibilities compared to normal healthy tourists. I can say that, but this is something that health is now becoming more important day after day, and people are very concerned about finding the right healthcare services that is world class quality, immediately accessible, as in you can get to see your specialist, get your treatment done immediately, and affordable. And these are the values that Malaysia healthcare can offer. World class quality, immediate accessibility, and affordable. And Malaysia will continue to be the strong player in medical tourism, and we welcome travel agents that are going to start looking into this industry as their perhaps complementing product, and look into being a local health facilitators for us as well. So we are open to work, and we're already working with Mita, to and their members, but we welcome more interest coming from the industry.
Mm.
Thank you.
All right, thank you
Oh,
so much
talking
for
about
that
Mita, sorry,
sharing.
I ate a
Yes.
bit about Mita just
Yeah.
now that Sherene mentioned. We are also working with Mita on this virtual seminar. It's an experimental project with Mita coming up. So I think the guests can stay tuned on the next one through our website. We will inform it through our social media as well on the next project with Mita.
Thank you so much, Nora. So, any final thoughts? Let me, let's I think conclude the session. So, I would get Sherene if you can give your final thoughts, please.
I think, thank you, Prashant. The most important thing is that I know that we are all in this, crisis. Just, I think, keep our heads up. There are a lot of opportunities for us to tap on. I think it's just about us, regrouping, reviewing everything. This is the reset that I think the Prashant was talking about, and then reshape the industry. I honestly, Malaysia Healthcare Travel Council has our plans, and we think inshallah by 2022 we can get to beyond 1 billion revenue back for the hospitals, and contributing even bigger for the tourism. So we are very optimistic about this because we know that people are knocking on our doors as we speak. So all the best to all of us in the industry, and I look forward to more sessions perhaps with Teen Talk Show.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank you
so
very
much,
much for the
Sherene.
opportunity.
Thank you so much, Sherene, for
Thank you for
such a
listening.
wonderful sharing. I think we all of have really enjoyed your sharing. All right.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you. We'll see you around. Thanks. All right. So, Nora, any final thoughts? Nora? Yeah.
Okay. First of most, thank you again, all the viewers. I think there's very good comments there that we can take up, to take away. Then there's a great collaboration with MAEPS and MHTC later. And I think these MCOs and COVID pandemic really taught us a few lessons. It gives us creativity. It gives us some new insights of what things has happening before. And but yeah, I believe that creativity is the most crucial skills that we need to have now to ensure that we sustain and we remain available or relevant in the industry. Yeah, be it the agro-tourism or medical tourism, is still tourism. We still have to interact with people. We still have to be with people to ensure that this Malaysia or the national interest does not just been laid off just like that. And on behalf of my team at Malaysia Agro Exposition Park Serdang, we thank you to the viewers that sharing. And thank you again, Prashant. Maybe next topic can be can invite me again for the next one.
Yeah, surely. We'll do
Indeed.
an exclusive agro-tourism, maybe. Yeah. All right.
Wow. Okay, that's great. Thank you, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Nora. Thanks. See you around. Thanks. All right, guys. So, my dear friends, we had an amazing learning sessions from our guest on the topic today. So, and the views and knowledge have been extremely helpful for all of us to understand more about medical tourism and tourism in general, agro-tourism, and also tourism marketing. So, Asian medical tourism market is anticipated to cross about $14 billion, in 2022. So it was the last year figure. Probably we'll have better things coming our way. So digital landscape has a huge contribution to this. If you talk about attracting medical tourists through digital marketing, right? And these medical tourists use internet as their main resource for finding information about medical care abroad. So they go online regularly to check. So it's very important for all of us, the hospitals or the service providers, to have an effective inbound marketing strategy in place. So what I mean by is the contribution, the combination of remarkable, content, the website engagement and the online brand management and leads, so the customers the customers will follow you rather than you following the customers. So I'm pretty sure that it is very important to analyze and track the success of your web pages, your blogs, your competitors, social media platforms, and other things. And I'm sure most of you must be already having such digital tools for your marketing. If you still haven't taken it seriously, I think it is the right time for us to go digital. So the whole idea is how you are able to convert those web visitors to your patients. right? So it's when it comes to medical tourism. So we at Teen Media here always encourage the industry players to take their business on digital landscape. So if you think it's impossible for you, or if you think it's confusing, tough for you to understand how the digitalization works, or how you can make online presence, so you can just always, maybe you can start with small steps towards achieving your digital presence. So in our we have a digital team in Teen Digital will be organizing a free online class on how to take your small and medium businesses online. So more on these details, we'll be announcing on our Facebook page. So please like Teen Media page, so that you get the information and you can participate in this free class, so that you get the lessons on how the basics, you can go online with your business. So I believe today's session was informative to all of you. Upcoming sessions will cover more segments from the tourism industry, like MICE, convention bureaus, and tourism departments, and online travel agents and technology providers, etc. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what we do, please don't forget to share this with your friends, your colleagues, and do like our Teen Media page. And so, looking forward to see you again next week. Till then, goodbye and thank you.